Hello and welcome back to the Opener Sorcery. So it's Devi, and today we're doing Devi's Divination Corner, and it's about scrying. So what the heck is scrying? So think of it as a catch-all term, and this is really the introductory and just explanation of a certain type of scrying versus others, because others will require a little bit more in-depth because they require some interpretation. So scrying. Typically, you start with water, and you are going to use this water, obviously, in a divinatory manner. So there's a couple of different ways to do so. Water with wax. You take a candle, and you're asking your questions and you know your situation and whatnot, and you're dripping the wax into the water as you're asking the questions and the situation, and then once the wax is dried, then you're interpreting off of that. Same with oil. I know it's also a way to discover, if you've got malokia or anything like that going on, which is like the evil eye, dripping oil into the water. That's definitely a way to do so, but for those require more interpretation rather than just opening up. So the other kind of scrying that I want to talk about is more so reflective surfaces. So if you're looking specifically into water, or specifically into a mirror, or, oil, or a crystal, like a crystal ball, like stereotypical Hollywood kind of BS, or someone's eyes, like you're staring in somebody's soul, pretty much. So with these, this is more, I believe, a tool, kind of like I was describing in the candle meditation and divination. This is more opening yourself up and being receptive in these cases. It's not necessarily a concrete form of this is what you're looking for and that is what this means. It is more so you are taking yourself from a state of in-body, of physical awareness to I am opening up and being receptive to the spirit and realms around me. So in mirrors, I know there are people that will actually kind of combine mirrors and candles in this fashion, and they will be in a dark room, and they will have a candle in front of a mirror and kind of use that as a way to zone out. And it's almost like taking a Google map and just kind of pinching out, getting more of a broad scope of your situation or just your perception at that time versus, that can't see the forest for the trees kind of thing. Personally, for mirrors freak me out. Now that is me personally, because I have a lot of experiences with them. That's not that great. Now, with them, images can begin to form, but it is not going to be anything that is concrete. It is going to be things that you're opening up to, and you're going to need to interpret it through your own perception, almost like dreams. Whereas sometimes dreams, like, yes, your teeth falling out of your head, there may be a specific meaning for that because it's pretty baseline throughout a lot of people. But in this opening of perception, you're going to need to, one, write it down. I'm going to definitely recommend writing things down as you experience them in any kind of opening flow state kind of exercise in terms of divination. Or if you're like me and you're going into these states, record yourself, because writing would take me out of it. I hit the record button so that I can go back to it and start to understand and be more analytical of what I'm seeing as it's going. So that's mirrors. Of course, there's black mirrors. People do that all the time, and that's how they are able to receive messages and things like that. Like I said, it is not concrete. It is not anything where it is specifically like, I see this means this. Same thing with water. So staring in water, it's a reflective surface. It acts just like the mirror. Just, You can always charge the water. That's one of the benefits. You can always charge the water or enchant the mirror to be able to bring things clearer. Also, ward away from negative things coming to you or affecting you or scaring you. Oil is also a good one because oil is reflective. And then we get to crystals. So, we have the stereotypical crystal balls and things like that. So you have like either quartz or amethyst or onyx or obsidian or something of that nature. Very highly reflective. It might even not be, it might just be translucent and you're focusing on it and you're zoning out into the crystal itself. Just recognize that these things carry energy. And so you're going to be opening yourself up to that energy as well. So choose your crystal wisely, because a quartz is not necessarily going to do the same thing as an amethyst, is not necessarily going to do the same thing as obsidian or onyx or anything like that. They each have their own energies to work with. So it is more so, pick which one you flow with better and you feel better with. And then, of course, like I was saying before, looking somebody in the eye. Now, I do this unconsciously a lot of times because anytime I'm speaking with somebody, I'm not only in the conversation, it's almost like I'm zoning in on them beyond the physical. So it can get really intimidating. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people will avoid eye contact, because it can get very uncomfortable. The eyes are the windows to the soul. It is not inaccurate. But just, try not to freak people out doing that. For anybody that I've just maintained intense eye contact with, I'm sorry. It's habit and I'm sorry. But with these are more of opening yourself up to flow state versus, we're going to drip things into the water and then each of these specifically come up with a meaning. So like I said, with these ones, make sure either you have a recording software that you're recording your voice with. That way you have notes to come back with and not take yourself out of that flow state as you achieve it, but record them down so that you can scan them with a more analytical mind afterwards. And it's always great to just have documentation of the things that we do in our practices. That helps us. And the more that you do it, the more that you're going to get comfortable with it. And scrying has such a long history. Some of the oldest documentation literally comes from Babylon. So it's not like this is some newfangled BS kind of thing. Like, this has been around for a while. And they did it with the oil and the water. Everything is evolving, though, because of how divination works and how it is you relating to the divine, you relating to the world around you, you opening up your senses. It's more of, hey, I'm here, I'm receptive, what do you have to show me? You can go in with specific purpose, but with this, I would definitely recommend, make it more broad versus narrow, because you don't want to cut yourself off to the experience. But I will cover more of the specifics on the wax and on the oil in another video, because I know each of those, they really do deserve a dedication because of how things are interpreted. But this has been Devi on Devi's Divination Corner on the Open Sorcery, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great night.